The great, deep blanket of the night sky was stretched out, sparkling with 1,000,000 tiny diamond stars. And right in the middle of it all, floating on a soft, dark cloud, was a little moon named Luna. She was a perfectly round, luminous pearl, and she was very, very sleepy. Her gentle light was meant for guiding dreams and watching over the quiet world, and her own eyes were growing heavy. It was almost time for her to rest, time for her great friend, the sun, to wake up and stretch his warm golden rays across the land. Luna yawned a tiny, star-dusty yawn and began to drift slowly toward the edge of the world, where she would tuck herself in for the day. But as she got closer, she noticed something was wrong. The horizon, which should have been glowing with a soft, promising light, was still as dark as midnight. And her friend, the sun, was not stirring. He was just a faint, dim outline, looking pale and completely worn out. Luna floated a little closer, her sleepiness forgotten. She could see the sun was trying his very best, but he could not seem to muster even the tiniest spark of light. He gave a weak, flickering sigh. He was just too tired. He had worked so hard yesterday, warming the beaches, helping the flowers grow, and giving energy to every little playing child. Now he had nothing left to give. The world would be stuck in night forever, and all the people and animals would sleep and never wake up to play. A worried feeling, like a cool mist, settled around little Luna. This was a very big problem. She was just a moon, made of soft, silvery light. She didn't know how to be bright and warm like the sun, but she knew she had to do something. She couldn't let her friend down, and she couldn't let the world stay asleep forever. She had to help. But how does a little moon paint a sunrise? She thought and she thought, her luminous glow pulsing softly with concentration. And then she remembered. A sunrise wasn't just bright light, it was made of colors. Beautiful, happy, warm colors that would tell everyone it was time to wake up. If the sun was too tired to make his own colors, then Luna would have to find them for him. She would gather them from the night itself and bring them back to paint the dawn. It was a brave plan for such a small moon. But thinking of her tired friend filled her with a gentle courage. Her first mission was to find a color of cheerful warmth, the color of a juicy orange. So, with a determined little shimmer, Luna pushed off from her cloud and began her journey across the tranquil night sky. She floated over silent, sleeping forests where the trees were dark shapes whispering secrets to the stars. She glided above hills that looked like giant, slumbering creatures under a blanket of darkness. Everything was so peaceful and still. But where could she find a bright, happy orange in all this quiet night? She looked down, scanning the world below. And then she saw them. Far down in a village, in a window of a little house, there were 2 small, glowing points of light. They weren't silver like stars. They had a warm, flickering heart. They were candles. Luna drifted a little lower, curious. In the window, next to the candles, was a big, round pumpkin that had been carved into a friendly, smiling face. And inside the pumpkin, another candle glowed. The light from the candles flickered and danced, filling the hollow pumpkin with a magical, living light. It was a deep, welcoming, and joyful orange. It was the orange of a sweet treat, the orange of a friendly smile in the dark. This was exactly what she needed. But how could she gather the light? Luna thought for a moment. She couldn't take the pumpkin or the candles. That wouldn't be helping, that would be taking. So she did something very clever. She floated directly above the little house and beamed her own softest, most gentle, silvery light down upon the pumpkin. Her light touched the orange glow, and something wonderful happened. The orange light from the pumpkin seemed to reach up, happy to see her. It swirled and danced, mixing with her moonbeams until a strand of pure, warm orange color lifted right out of the pumpkin and twisted around her like a friendly ribbon of light. She had collected the first color. It felt warm and happy against her cool, silvery surface. 1 color down! But a sunrise needs more than just orange. It needs a color of soft, loving kindness. It needs the color pink. So, with her new orange ribbon trailing behind her, Luna continued her quest. She sailed over a wide, sleeping ocean. The water was a vast, dark mirror reflecting the stars, and the sound of the gentle waves was a lullaby for the world. Luna looked and looked. Where could pink be hiding in the deep, dark blue of the night sea? She saw silvery fish jumping and dark islands slumbering, but no pink. She was starting to feel a little worried again. What if she couldn't find it? What if she let everyone down? But then she remembered why she was doing this, to help. And that thought made her just a little bit brighter. She floated a little lower over a quiet bay, and there on a beach was a soft, faint glow. It was coming from a giant pile of seashells. Luna drifted down until she was just above the sand. The shells were beautiful, all curled and twisted in wonderful shapes. And many of them, especially the big fan-shaped ones, had a beautiful shiny inside. It was a color that was not quite white and not quite red. It was the most beautiful, gentle pink she had ever seen. It was the pink of a baby's cheek, the pink of a precious treasure found in the sand. It was a tranquil and loving pink. But how to gather this color? The pink was part of the shell itself. She couldn't take the shells. So Luna had another idea. She beamed her light onto the pile of shells. Her luminous glow made the beautiful pink insides shine even brighter, as if they were waking up for just a moment. The color seemed to lift off the shells, a soft, dusty pink glow that rose into the air. It swirled around like fairy dust, then gently wrapped itself around Luna, right next to the orange ribbon. It felt smooth and gentle, like a mother's kiss goodnight. She had done it! The second color was hers. Orange and pink now floated around her, making her silvery light look very beautiful and strange. But she needed one more color. The most important color of all. The color of bright, sunny happiness. She needed yellow. Luna flew back up into the sky, now looking for a yellow as bright as the sun himself. She flew over more villages and towns, all dark and quiet. She saw a few lonely cars with white headlights, like rolling beetles, but that wasn't the right kind of light. She needed a warm, happy yellow. Where could it be? She was getting closer to the horizon where her tired friend was still sleeping. Time was running out. She began to search faster, her light flickering with worry. What if the yellow was too well hidden? What if the night had swallowed it all up? Just as she was about to feel very sad indeed, she saw something wonderful. Below her was a big city, but the city was mostly asleep. However, there was one place that was still full of life. It was a great big tower, so tall it almost tickled the clouds. And all around the top of this tower, circling it slowly and steadily, were two beams of the most powerful, brilliant light Luna had ever seen. They were searchlights, and they were a stunning, clear, bright yellow. They cut through the night sky like two giant swords of sunshine. This was it! This was the yellow she needed. It was brave and strong and so very bright. But how could she possibly gather light from those strong, sweeping beams? They were so much bigger and stronger than she was. Luna felt a little shy. Those beams were so bold, and she was just a little moon. Would it even work? She had to be brave. She had to try. She took a deep breath and floated right into the path of one of the great yellow beams. For a second, she was surrounded by the most incredible, buzzing, energetic light. It was so powerful. It made her whole body hum. She focused all her energy, thinking about her tired friend and the sleeping world. She didn't try to grab the light. She simply asked it for help, shining her own gentle, helpful intention into the beam. And the yellow light understood. It was a light that helped too, by guiding airplanes and telling people where they were. It recognized a fellow helper. Instead of passing through her, the beam seemed to pour its color into her. It was like drinking sunshine. A stream of brilliant golden yellow flowed into Luna, filling her up and then swirling around her to join the orange and the pink. It felt warm and electric and full of happy energy. She had done it! She had all three colors! Orange, pink, and yellow danced around her in beautiful, glowing ribbons. She was no longer just a silvery moon. She was a floating, glowing palette of dawn colors. She was a beautiful, luminous secret moving through the night. She raced back to the horizon where the sun was still sleeping fitfully, his light barely a smudge. It was time to help. It was time to paint. Luna positioned herself right where the sky meets the earth. She took a deep breath and, thinking the most helpful thoughts she could, she let the colors go. She didn't just throw them, she gently, carefully painted with them. First, she took the bright, powerful yellow, and she painted a long, glowing line right across the very bottom of the black sky. It was like a smile starting to form. Then, she took the warm, cheerful orange and she brushed it right above the yellow, letting the two colors mix and swirl together in a happy dance. The sky began to glow. Finally, she took the soft, gentle pink and she dabbed it and swirled it above the orange, softening everything, making it look kind and loving and sweet. She used her own silvery light to blend it all together until the whole edge of the world was lit up with the most beautiful, gentle, perfect sunrise anyone had ever seen. It was a masterpiece of help and friendship. The colors grew brighter and brighter, spreading across the sky. And then something wonderful happened. The sun, feeling the warmth of the colors Luna had made, gave a great big happy sigh. The light touched him and filled him with new energy. He began to stir. He stretched his long, warm rays. He grew brighter and brighter and brighter until he could finally open his eyes and rise up into the sky that Luna had painted for him. He was so surprised and so happy. He saw the beautiful colors, and he saw little Luna, looking tired but very proud, her own light now soft and silvery again. He understood immediately. His little friend had helped him. She had given him the energy he needed to wake up. The sun beamed his warm, grateful light directly on Luna, warming her and thanking her. Down below, the world began to wake up. Birds started to chirp their morning songs, seeing the pink and orange sky. Flowers began to open their petals to the yellow sun. In houses, children began to stir, ready for a new day of play. Luna felt a happiness as warm as the sunlight. She had been sleepy and small, but she had helped her friend. She had found what she needed in the tranquil night and saved the day. As she finally drifted down to her soft cloud to rest, she looked at the world one more time. It was bathed in the very colors she had found, the yellow sun, the pink clouds, and the orange flowers in the gardens. She had done it. She closed her eyes, and with the gentle sounds of the waking world as her lullaby, the helpful little moon finally fell fast asleep, dreaming of what other secret colors the next night might hold. Moral: helping others, even when you are small or tired yourself, is a powerful and wonderful thing to do.